The Phoenix VA was doctoring patient records. Rules in the executive action will protect 250,000 farm workers. We are at these committee hearings every month, and every month the same issues come up. Two men in the last 2 weeks ran across Pennsylvania Avenue, jumped that fence into the White House. With a win in North Carolina, the Republicans have taken control of the Senate.
Is that attitude, is that Ruben Gallego that I remember, going to be influence or nervous in front of a room of 435.
This is the letter that the protesters wanted to hand deliver to President Obama. Well, what's not attracting Latino voters is political parties. With Thanksgiving just a couple days away, these farm workers are hoping President Obama will give them something to be thankful for. And more than 2 weeks after the polls closed, he is finally following through on that promise. Here's what we can expect from the president's primetime address. The city of Chandler is in mourning today after losing 2 police officers last week. So after the turkeys are pardoned, they come here to Morven Park and live out the rest of their days. Patient wait times, federal funding, and physician shortages are all major concerns of the committee. He does believe parts of the executive action will help Southern Arizona communities. They swam through shark-infested waters on the reality show. If they can make it through that, hopefully we can make it through this next session.
Our Washington Bureau reporter Brittany Bade was at the White House today as anti-war protesters tried to air their complaints to the president. Brittany?
Hannah, hello. Well, people from all over the United States came to the White House today to protest the airstrikes going on in the Islamic State. Now, the people that were at the White House are all hoping for a peaceful resolution in the Middle East, and they want President Obama to know that they do not like his violent airstrikes.
Dropping bombs on helpless people, and you ought to be ashamed of yourselves.
Pennsylvania Avenue, usually buzzing with tourists, looked different today.
We ain't gonna pay for no more.
Well, we're here today because the U.S. just started bombing Syria, and we think that that's just another escalation of endless war in the Middle East.
The protesters here sent a letter to the White House a month ago asking for a meeting with President Obama.
We've got no response, and so that's why we're here today, to try to get this meeting, because these issues are crucial.
This is the letter that the protesters wanted to hand deliver to President Obama, but when they were not allowed inside, they improvised.
Help me, please! Why?
Some protesters laid at the front gates of the White House or in the streets, while others sang a song. But blocking the White House gates is against the law. And when these protesters refused to move, the Capitol Police stepped in to end the protest.
We do not want decades of war. We don't want years of war. We don't want any war.
4 people were arrested today, but according to other protesters, they're just the first of many, and that's because more than 250 other protests that are similar to what we saw here today are planned throughout the United States during the rest of the week, and that includes spots in Scottsdale and in the Tucson areas. But details for those are not yet available. Live in Washington, D.C., Brittany Bade, Cronkite News. It has been well reported the Department of Veterans Affairs found out the Phoenix VA was doctoring patient records. But what was only reported recently is that this report originally came out back in 2008. And because it's only coming to light this year, that has lawmakers fired up yet again.
We've all got to be honest and open with each other about what's going on.
What's been going on is VA workers changing patient records to make wait times appear shorter.
That there was something wrong, something came up repeatedly.
Record doctoring has been happening repeatedly for 6 years, according to documents uncovered this week. This discovery sent lawmakers into a new round of finger pointing because they want to know how this could have stayed under the radar for so long while hundreds of veterans waited for care.
DDHD, delay, deny, and hope you die.
Arizona Congresswoman Ann Kirkpatrick, who sits on the House Committee of Veterans Affairs, said in a statement, If the horrific practices in Phoenix were hidden from Congress or covered up by the VA, then this is government at its worst. Arizona Senator Jeff Flake said, "These reports are disturbing and further highlight the need for a fundamental reform." But a VA auditor said the 2008 report was never a secret and was in fact included in the August 26, 2014 report sent to Congress. The main difference between the 2008 report and its 2014 copy is that investigators say administrators at the Phoenix VA knew employees were changing records and they were benefiting from it. In Washington, D.C., Brittany Bade, Cronkite News. It is a cold and rainy day at Arlington National Cemetery. Tourists are usually scared away by days like this, but one group of men is here no matter what the weather is like.
Forward! March!
The Sentinels march. Precise, respected, and everlasting.
Everything we do is not like anything you've ever done in your life.
Specialist John Arriaga guards the tomb of the unknowns.
Every time you cross that threshold of the chains and actually get onto the plaza, it basically just feels like the weight of every veteran, of anyone that's ever served and sacrificed, is on your shoulders, and you're just trying to do your best for them.
Sun, rain, or snow, the Sentinels continue to carry that weight.
Knowing that anyone buried in the ground that sacrificed all, knowing that they suffered way worse and didn't quit, gives you no excuse to quit when you're still living.
That endurance is what draws more than 4 million people a year from all over the country to Arlington.
I guess I'm inspired of their dedication.
The freezing rain pouring down today is testament to the soldiers' dedication.
I was honestly shocked when we walked down here and saw that he was just wearing his little coat and then just not even a warm hat or anything.
Despite the discomfort the elements bring, inspiration is found in every march.
I'd say my best day is probably the day of my dad's death.
A chance to pay respect to his father, a Vietnam veteran. Arriaga marched for 12 straight hours that night.
That was my way of just spending that night with my dad.
One night just for his father, all others for his country. Each Sentinel guards the tomb of the unknown soldier for 3 years. After that, they are restationed, but they get to carry the special Tomb Guard badge on their military service uniform wherever they go next. At Arlington National Cemetery, Brittany Bade, Cronkite News.